Hello, and I'm going to show you the results of what installing SNS Computing's SewIconz can do for you on your computer. You can, once you install this, just look at your embroidery files just like this as you see on my computer as the icons. Normally we see what you see down here as these little page-like files. I'm actually not sure why those aren't transferring to the icon here. I think those are because I bought them from a foreign site and maybe the formatting is not the same. But it will transfer pretty much every embroidery file you have to a little picture here so that you can then just open them up in SewWhat Pro and edit them or whatever you need to do from there. In some cases I've got more than one of the same, and that's because this creeper, for example, came in 3 different sizes. You can also see over here, where I split a design, and in that case you see 2 parts of poor Peppa Pig. You see Peppa Pig's bottom, and then you see Peppa Pig's top over here because I split that design, so now it's showing you both parts. And so that is how you'll then easily view your icons. I used to have them all categorized in a different way. Now the way to do this, and I'm not going to uninstall and reinstall it just for the video, I'm sorry, so you get have a little bit of suspension of disbelief, is you're going to install your SewIconz into your download folder. It will go into your downloads folder, and you can see that you'll have it in here. You will click on that and it will open it up and guide you to install it. Then from there you will have this icon on your screen. Now when you go to the SewIconz computing site, it's going to offer you SewIconz 32-bit or 64-bit. And it's going to give you a little bit of information on why you should choose one or the other. Now, my computer is supposed to handle 64-bit files just fine, so I chose 64-bit, and it was taking forever to try and load all these images. It didn't want to do it, so I uninstalled that, and I went down to 32-bit, and then it was happy. So my recommendation is, if you have any problems whatsoever, go to 32-bit, or just start out at 32-bit, because it seems to be happier that way. Now, so after you've installed it and you have this icon on your screen, you'll click it open, and right now I'm still on the demo because I've only had this for like a day, and it's going to ask you to choose some settings. In my case, I'm only using a Brother PES file, so that's all I've chosen right now. But maybe you're going to want to download some files that are the GNOME format or something, and then convert them to other file types. If that's the case, you're going to want to choose every file type here that you want the computer to be able to see as an embroidery file. There's a bazillion of them, as you can see. I've just chosen PES, but the good thing is that you can go in anytime you want by opening that little icon and change the settings. So if today you just do PES, and tomorrow you go, oh my gosh, look at that fabulous GNOME file, then you can just go in, tell it to also see GNOME files, and then click OK, and it will then see those files. We've also got quilting files. I don't know much about these because I don't have a long arm, but you can see there's Handy Quilter, CompuQuilt, other things over here, and then the graphics type files. What kind of images should it see there? Should it see BMPs? Should it see Corel? Should it see JPEGs? I've chosen pretty much all of them because there's some wacky formats out there sometimes, especially if you're just kind of searching the internet for the perfect design that your 6-year-old absolutely has to have on his t-shirt. So all you have to do really is choose the file format you want it to be able to show as an embroidery file. I don't think I changed any of these. Of course you want to make sure display file icon is checked, and I'm pretty sure that's what was already defaulted. Whether you want it in American units or metric units, the sizes, and then click OK. And it says you may have to reboot to have changes take effect. I haven't had to. You may have to. Who knows? And now you don't do anything more with this unless you want to change a setting. This can basically go away unless you want to change something. Then when you open wherever you keep your embroidery files, now you're going to see the icons like this. Now here's step 2 of this. If you want to associate this so that you look through your files and go, I'm going to open this now in SewWhat Pro, you have to associate this file with SewWhat Pro. So what you'll do is you'll double click on one of these files, it will bring up a little menu, which I'll show you in just a second, that asks you what application you want to use to always open that file. You'll choose it, and I'll show you more detail in just a second, and then from then on, it will always use that application to open up an embroidery file. The second part of that is when I first did this, I accidentally told it to open up in Photoshop. I was going too fast, and I thought I had screwed up everything. Do not fear. If you screw up, you can fix it. If I had not associated this, another way to do it is I can right-click, and it says right here, Open With. And now it's going to bring me this menu. Now you can see I've already got Keep Using SewWhat Pro, but previously it had options here for me. It had Photoshop, it had something else, and I had to go here and click More Options, and still SewWhat Pro wasn't in the list, and that's of course what I wanted. So I had to go down here and I had to go look for another app on this PC. So I went to my Windows folder here, and I searched through until I found SNS Computing, and I opened that, and then I opened SewWhat Pro, and then it began to associate that with those files. And then it placed, as you can see, SewWhat Pro's little icon in the corner of the embroidery file. So you know this embroidery file and any embroidery file with that sewing machine icon is now associated with SewWhat Pro. Now after I made the mistake and accidentally hit Photoshop, what I had to do, and what you may have to do to ensure that it associates like this, is just, after you do that, then just open up your SewIconz thing again. I didn't even have to change a setting, and just click OK. It was kind of like rebooting it. And then when I went back in, everything was all hunky-dory and looked great. You may not have to do that step. I may have only had to do it because I screwed up and chose Photoshop the first time and had to tell the system to look at all the files again. And so now if I click on this file, it's going to automatically open in SewWhat Pro. And there you are. And if you want to change this, if tomorrow you go buy Embrilliance or Embird or something like that, again, you can right click on that, do Open With, and then search your computer for the program you then want to associate with it. And you could choose Embrilliance the next time, or SophieSew, or whatever it is you choose. I hope this has been helpful, because there was some confusion, even though this is a pretty simple program and you really don't have to do much with it if you don't want to. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Thank you.